Now we are going to watch a film which is basically a South African experience which reflects a way forward to this process. That is going to be led by Mr. Peter Riddle and facilitated by him soon after the screen. Thank you.
So the film that Law has requested is called Beyond Forgiving, and it's a film about two South Africans, a black guerrilla commander who ordered a shooting in which a white girl was killed, and it's about the story of the mother of that white girl, and it's the story of how the white mother went to meet the black African guerrilla, and the way that conversation went, and the evolution that took place in both of them as a result of it. So this is part of the recovery of South Africa, that such conversations have been taking place. This shooting took place in 1993. You remember that Mandela left prison in 1990, but the first elections, democratic elections, only took place in 1994. So it was in that period when there was quite a lot of confusion that this shooting took place, and then they actually met in 2003. So I'm just going to show a 20-minute clip of this video, and then we could have a discussion about what you feel the message of it is, that you take personally, and also for Eritrea. Thanks to James for all his work.
I was now coming face to face with the person who was responsible for Lindy's death.
For a long time, I had demonized the people I was fighting against.
I had this perception of an evil person.
For the first time, I met someone whose daughter died as a result of my command.
How does one move from victimhood to survivor and then to wounded healer? I can only speak from my own experience. That experience of forgiveness sparks me to share the story, and I think the Japa as well.
Storytelling is part of a healing process. It's a catharsis. We're talking about 10 million rents, and some offenders are facing. My name is Letafon Patel. I'm an active politician. I am a member of the PAC, and I'm also representing PAC in the National Assembly of South Africa in Parliament.
I'm Jennifer Ree, and I'm married with a son. We had 2 children, but Lindy was killed in 1993. I taught physiotherapy for 18 years at the University of Cape Town and took early retirement in 2003 in order to spend time with the vision of the Lindy Free Foundation.
The President of PAC, Honorable President freedom, but economic freedom eludes us.
In the past, I was a freedom fighter. I spent some time in exile, and I rose through the ranks of APLA, Azanian People's Liberation Army, until I became its Director of Operations.
anyone who could perpetrate such a deed as an evil person. And then when I met him, to see his integrity and his humility, so then there was no way I could shut him out.
It was like an opening of life, another window of life, because for a long time I had demonized people I was fighting against. But when people were reaching out and even agreeing to a meeting with me, it was like an opening of a world that was until then closed to me.
I made a conscious decision and a principled decision to give up my justifiable right to revenge. It's not something that one does without thought. And forgiveness is part of the process of moving from victimhood, because as one takes this principled decision to give up your right to revenge and start seeing the humanity in the person who's committed or perpetrated against you, you no longer feel as though the wound is just yours. You start seeing the woundedness of the other.
As she delivered that great gift of forgiveness, immediately I knew that there was something weighing heavily on my shoulders, and that something was, how do I reciprocate? There was going to be official welcome to my people in my village, and it was just a small thank you to her, an invitation that she should be there.
And he asked me if I would speak at his homecoming ceremony for 10 minutes. So then I struggled with what to say. Yes, it was some anxiety about saying the right thing. There were close to 2,000 black people and probably 8 white people.
When Jim spoke, you could hear a pin drop. Everything was absolutely quiet as people listened, and that was very moving. Yeah. Yeah.
I told them that I'd spoken to my ancestors to know why we were in the situation that we're in South Africa, and that they were deeply sorry for the hurt and pain that they caused through slavery, through colonialism, through the Anglo-Boer War, and then apartheid. Because for me, the Anglo-Boer War was directly related to apartheid. The response was enormous. The cheering and the kudu horn was blown, and people just made their resonance of what I'd said known. And at the end, the woman came and cried on my shoulder. And one young man came and he said, "Please have a picture taken with me, because in my village, no one will believe that there's a white woman who understands."
She has done something that few people have done, but with no motives, because she went on to ask forgiveness from my people for colonialism, apartheid, slavery, etc., without any political posturing.
The film goes on to tell a bit about their work together. Would anyone like suggest what they feel the message of the film was?
I think to overcome her fears of and sadness of losing her only child, so she managed to try to reach out for her killers and try to live in peace with herself.
Thank you. So it was essential for herself to take those steps. Yes. Thank you. Anyone else like to suggest a meaning or a message? Please.
It showed me also that people change their feelings in time when they are. It shows me courage of changing your opinion and crossing the bridge and meeting those who are in the same feelings as you are, but you didn't know before that you share common values. So it's really a very rich film that it conveys a very persuasive message, even for us Eritreans.
Speak a bit louder into the...
Yeah, persuasive message even for us Eritreans that we need to learn from our differences and come across and put our differences aside and through discussions and common approach. Thereby we can heal the wounds rather than provoking them now and then. That's what I learned from the film.
Thank you. Anyone else like to?
I think it was forgiveness and also...
Right up to your mouth, please. Yeah, and very loudly.
It was forgive and also not forget, but move forward. And let go the bitterness that you have in your heart and clean your chest about the pain you had. And peace in your mind, in consciousness. And also, like I said, to remember, but not to live on your life. It's like a darkness they were facing. But they come out of that darkness and see a light and future.
Anyone else like to? I hope that one of the younger people will say something. Who else would like to say what they feel the message of the film is? A younger person?
I don't know. Also, I thought it was about honesty as well.
A bit louder. Yeah.
Sorry. It was about honesty and being able to sort of convey how they feel, how he felt about him closing the situation, and how she felt about losing her only child, and just for him to invite her and for them to actually sit down and talk about it. I think it's such a big message to send, where you don't just hold the grudges and she was gonna, find out and revenge, but they sat down and they actually talked about it. So I think that sends a great message.
I wonder who you think the perpetrator was and who was the victim.
I think they were both victims of circumstances. I mean, he had to fight for his right, and she happened to be from the other camp. And it was not personal, it was just two different causes. But on our case as Eritreans, I think we are still in the victim mentality. We're still being victimized. So the lady says from victim to survivor to an activist.
Wounded healer.
Yeah, a wounded healer, yeah. So we are still in the victim state because it's still ongoing. And we're still bleeding. So the idea of reconciliation and forgiveness and survivors, we're not there yet. So that is why it's a bit distant for us.
Yes.
So I don't know how the others feel, but that's my take.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment on who is the victim and who is the perpetrator in the film? For me, it's very important that at the end the lady should acknowledge that she also is a perpetrator. She starts the film as a victim, doesn't she? But through the interaction and understanding that she gained from the conversation with that Papa, she realised that she was of the perpetrator nation, and therefore that she also had something to apologise for. So I think for me this is very important because through my experience and work with people from Africa, it's caused me to think very deeply about the white man, the white person in Africa, and I feel actually very deeply about the lines, the straight lines that were drawn with rulers right across tribes and the trauma and the suffering that has resulted from that. So I'm grateful to this lady for identifying slavery, colonialism. These are all part of my heritage as a white person in this country, and I think it's very important that we acknowledge that. So I've been told that we need to move on, but yes, so we'll leave that there. But thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, Mr. Peter Riedel is going right now. So he said, he is apologizing and he wants to literally say a couple of words. So if you could listen to him. And obviously when he ends, we need to have our gratitude expressed properly. Thank you. Yeah.
Can you put the voice up, please? Voice up.
Okay. You can raise the volume of your voice.
Please.
Okay. I mean, well, just to say how much I appreciate what you are doing here. I think storytelling is, from the example of the film, it's clearly a fundamental way of recovery and restoring of relationships, and just encourage you to go as deeply as you can with acknowledgement and honest conversation. So I wish you very well, and Almighty's blessing on you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. We are starting the second session. It's simply storytelling. We are going to give an opportunity to the veterans to share their stories. And as one of the contributors said, storytelling is healing by itself, so it may help us as well. مهندمرينا حكي كلايتي مدب informal عينت ساعتكم ديالا تساتفلو قد أمي وخون تمضوا عليكم قبلي حان فليز بلت برك زخانات في السامي تغيسكم هتر بلا من قدل تجزي هم زي متعنا جن تتمرتها هم المحرارة فيكم كت زانت هون كنا نقول عدل كل بوكمينا نابات حاجة خلت سلسلة مسمر ردي أقول سيدنا أنا ذيك ما أوكي نعم حدين تايو مالت ذي معلت تعني أقداسيو كابت حجز مسلنا ذلهم من علي أقدمه برد نبرويو أبدلن كنا أبتلجنا أبدل كاتاتون ترى أني هنا تحلف سومنسي السنتينري أنفرساري نيو ناي ميت عمد ناي كدام أبينات علم أبدلهم كينهم كذا عدي نتي علت يذكروني يوم فتري أقول لها كل تكراربو مراتي public mode بتنا حزبي سنينيت كان ذي ناي حجي وان يهون يسمعك بتأخذ اللو مخبره نحن عدن ربعي زمن كي كدنا نتتاريخنا كان فاحصو نرأينا ولا كلنا ننتظر كنا جن كمو عينك أنت بتذكر تعمي تأمنو ذا شجري سلذي إذا تأمن بعلو بمنطر نتيكم عينك كنا تات ميزان ذات حز أجا تأمن سلذي هنا بغت سالي كن حزو نسر حلو تقبل ناي هذا خط سلم تايو أتي أب قبل زنبرة بيستفرع لي مركلوني صورة زبركة سب تاريخنا من قار لمديس لزي يقولوني أنا قاعد حرب دين تهون يسمع عن تزان ثنا سل زي تود لهم كيو ما لسيت من قار وتسمع الناظر له تبلم بل أبدل بعلو تي أبتي كالسي زوا عليه زان تو خنقر بمخالنا البات أبركتون حوافات قريب فوقون صلي نبي حدين سمعوا دلنا أو تواسمو نبي بتبكي حدنا أنت قصر معيو نعبنا هنكيت التصفى جبر أنا حدي المدافع يتخون أب شهن تعتمي تنتسعان 4 مهنيات ودرنا قتمي أب إيرترا حنتي تمسجن تبل قتمي فاسمع عكوني لفريو نسخاتكم كا لكم زانتا كم زبالكم بيستفر عليه منكع بيستفر عليه وقام قبل لكمه بس دار معدل كل بكمينا تمسجن بلو قال مسكانا هابو أفكفتو حقي تزاربو تمسجن بلوون تقادلاي كالو قماري زقبا هابوون ميؤوز معري تمسجن بلوون انبسا نزا عديس وحسا تمسجن بلوون مرهوي نزا زوديز ملسا تنفاساي تحبؤو كأنهم سددو تاريخو زرزيركم مستنكرنتو نادو مقور ملحاس قلنا إلى مدن تتمسجن لبيو تأمن تمسجن ببالي عملو مسوم لسلو تمسجن نتبرد زحلي تمسجن نتمدر بدا دهري تمسجن نتعقب قلقول شلولو تمسجن نتطبع قنفزو تمسجن نتأول نفاس مزبق عقلي تمسجن نتبرخطات نايقهنب مسلي أبيت تمسجن يلون تزي حلفو تاريخ إرترا تايكون متزعفو كم فرقان كيشو ورروز لكت مراكا زنكيقو تنفاسكا زحتت نتيجة كان سمي حنا الوررو زحل حزال حيسو انت زي تارلو شنتو ستيو تمسجن انت زي بلو اسكا قروب حسبو تاريخ إرترا تايكون مخونا نبابو كالاشين كتسكن زي تبهقا بلبت امت قاش عديقا زحلقت مقنت تميز تلقعا قطعو خبحيزو مسودال انت زي قواي بحبو تمعزيزو تاريخنا انتا يكون مخوني تقادلاي بتمسجن انت زي سنة نويح قلزو سقن زي تدفرو سلام كتر حويسو بأقارك مطرو بتيحوس كسرح نبونا ملوغي اقرو معني عقو قربتونا لغغي عغق إلو انا تتار عبرهو بأفو انت زي الرمونا بلي الله تمسكن نتي زي مسكن انت زي بلو تمسكن سنو نخيسو نزل خفئ انت زي ودن انت المخني مواقل إرترا ناي كوينات ناي حسم ناي مكرا بانديرانا متحقق كم قدما إرترانا من برد مملا تخوينا أي مغرعنان سمنا متحكي أي مخبرنان معتبنا متبتكي تمسكن عالم بدقصان صلاح طوي تخصوص إنه لا غنتا مع الشوي عرفنا تصبح قطعته فتح قتل تعزيزون علامة بتصح نتولو نفسه بحبنا بوسسه نفسي سرناي ورقنا ملسه تمسكن نتزي بالبحيلي تكون مسألة ناي إرترا سئلي أبراخ كيف تنو عينها ذربرب أبتسماي تلقس تبتر عقب مزوهار يطبق انتزي سبب نتنويح سموات قد لك أبسب تمسكن انتزي بلو تمسكن نسك قلوب حسبو تاريخ إرترا تايكون مخونين بابو أكالو تأسيرو حنقلو توتيرو موتودو خوينو بذيت راي بستيرو اتسنفران حدثنا عمتات لغتصلي تمسكن انتزي بلو موال كان عليه مزحف إرترا تايكون تصحفو متى ولدو تايكون مترفو كان مخونة تاريخ عري ملحس كاذبتخ صلقلق مخونة حرخراخ رأس خازد النن نحضري ذحنخ أبياتنا من الردى لحيبو قافلات سدت موحدة خم قدمو عشلات اتهم ذي جلقعو بخيات مقصلو أمنا مربعو ولدهم ذي فتهم بذحو ذختامات متان كيوم بدوم تحردو جكانات كنقبل بنا مبرو بتصياف ملحاس بوتاسينو ملعدم محابوت انفاس اما ايد قبصتات مرآية عيني سيطاناو زيناتات مخحقحون اذني سمع ورسي ترف زوا على قوان رأسو زحلفو جبل الناس زي امنون تمليسو كاب قالو كترخبو قن حتى زوار تمسكن لقيمو نقربكم يو كابوسن نابوسن حانساب كسحقيو ذكرو وذاتات مزاني تخونو أبتسنكور كنتات حانساب كتنكزيو كدنن بتزتا كابرحوق مسوقعو ناي ظهرتا ورحتا صيحيو كحدا ونغيو قرارت قالو حرقان عبيسو دم كمسل مسلو دحارقن كنبيو تمسكن مجمريا متعرفتوش وحدو دك مسرع دك قانتا كيف يعني راح أذنو تمسكن ثبوت غيرو كسعبهم ناي جدن أتبيعون فتهم تبدأ بلدو سقوم حاليهم بسمهم بسمتو جزي خوينو مستنبس تصحفه نسو ترفت خوينو مزاقوكو مسحرفه سب خوينو نبيعو تمسكن سب خوينو قن بططوا إلى السعن عينو تحبسه لبو واي أبدا تمسكن كان عين بصايه انتزي نبر قبرو عودنا حفاش تزي نبر متكرو كاب قاريزا زليلون قنبالات تزي حنن شوعة شعك سوا انت زي حلن ناصلنت بهوت انت زي نبر مسيرو إرترا انت زي نبر مزمرو نسنتو منينو انت زي سكما كبر بزيهيبو انت زي صمما دمكيو انت زي تركسار حقوقيسو روح انت زي البسا انت يمثل إرترا ملكعة أبي يكون مخونة إرترا مسرعة صوتواي مخونة الأولى إرترا ما نمجدكم مخونة توركاويت بانديرا معالتنا ظلنت عسران 4 قنبت ترى قدي خوينا بدي تاريخ محلفت شتا سلام كم قدموم رحقي بهاررتا لبنا متفاقوي أي مغنانان كالزلومي جانا معلو هنن مبلنا بطعمي أي مغرعنان سمنا متحكي أي مخبرنان معتبنا متبتكي دقاس قسانة رفتا صقاب رويت تلستا برهان حبوس بشختا صوتا وحاخا حللتا استقهل حلي علم زدن غير قرمات إنت إرتراو تطبقي هقد سيما ناي سلام أدراشا تمسكن يودرتو مجرشا قزيه يونو حدل في الصريحي سبقنا أمرو يبمر زبلحي نتمارس إنا مسلومين عندر نتقدم ذنقنا تطعمو وين ذكر سبات مهم سبا أمرو نتقابنا كاتبيت نجمرو نزمرلون التملون ودسو سبكهون نتايسو حاولتي نهنا صلو عظم درنفو كيسكف منفسو ميقطا قدفو لعلو غلو دكو هاي زختمو لعلو غلو ولدو هاي حقنو مقور قالات قلنا إلى مدن تتمسكن نلبيو ذأمن تمسكن ببالي أمرو تمسكن بلو أعداهم العلو حدرهم تكبرو مقور ملحاس قلنا إلى مدن تتمسكن نلبيو ذأمن 9 4 صحف كويس يعني مخنيات بعدتي يغني اللي صني لكم سمعكمني